Hello students, Standard 8th. Today we are going to revise the chapter 15th in physics, some natural phenomena. Now we learn in earlier standards about some natural phenomena like cyclones, storms, winds. We know that cyclones damage to human life and properties also. But we all know that we can save ourselves at some extent from the wind and cyclones, etc., because they can be predicted. So before it comes, we can take some precautions at some extent to save the people, the animals, and our all properties. But we know that some phenomena are such that they cannot be predicted. We know the cause of that, but it cannot be predicted. And then they are also very destructive. The other two very destructive phenomena are those we are going to study in this chapter are lightning and earthquake. Lightning can be predicted, but earthquake cannot be predicted. So first of all, lightning. If you understand the lightning, before that, let us understand some thing that we every day or sometimes we observe. Sometimes on a pole of the light, electric pole, when the wire become loose, then you see that sparklings. And when especially the wind is blowing, that sparkling occurs, and we can see that. Similarly, in our house also, when a plug is loose in the socket, or if you touch them with the wet hand, also you see that sparkles. Lightning is also a sparkle, but it is on a big scale, huge scale. It is same, the causes are same. But here on the electric pole or in the plug socket, the sparkling are very, very small, and it may cause some harm to us, but not that much extent. But lightning can be destructive also. In the ancient time, people didn't know the cause of lightning, so they were afraid of them. They think that it is the wrath of God visiting them. But now we know that it is not the wrath of God, but it is a natural phenomena caused by some accumulation of charges on the clouds. So think about the rubbing, charging by rubbing. The Greeks in the ancient time, they observed that when a type of resin named amber is rubbed with fur, then what happened? That amber has a power to attract some small objects, heavy, very light objects like air. That you also may be observed, especially in the winter time when you take off your clothes, then it is rubbed with your hair on your body, then they are getting stand up. And if you are changing the clothes in the dark room, you can see the sparkles also, especially the polyester clothes or the woolen clothes, etc. Also, this same thing is happening in the clouds. So in 1752, Benjamin Franklin, he showed that lightning and the spark from your clothes are equal phenomena, same phenomena. We can do some other activities also to understand about the sparklings or the lightning. Take a plastic comb or a plastic scale and rub it on your dry hair. Make sure that your hair are dry. So a plastic comb or a plastic ruler, scale, rub it in your dry hair, and then without touching, take them nearer to small pieces of papers. Then you will see that the small pieces of paper will be attracted as you take it nearer to them. So that is called the charging by rubbing. And these objects, when they gain the power of attraction, power of attracting the small pieces, light objects, then they are known as charged objects. Similarly, you can use the ball pen refill and rub it vigorously with a piece of polythene, plastic. Then also you will notice the same thing. So, here, when a plastic comb is rubbed by hair, also, and every time when some of the particular objects you rub with each other, they are getting charged. Charged object can have the power to attract the very light object. Now, there are two type of charges are there. When they have rubbing with each other, then they have two different type of charges are there. And that charges are positive charges and negative charges. When we inflate the balloon and rub both of them with a woolen cloth, take two balloons, inflate them and hang them such that they do not touch each other. When we rub both of them with the woolen cloth, then you observe them, you will see that both the balloon will repel each other, they will run away from each other because they have same type of charges in them. Similarly, the other things also, like you rub the refill with polythene, two refills with polythene, if you bring them with each other, they will also repel each other. But if you take a charged balloon and a charged refill nearer to each other, they will attract each other. It means that here both of them have different charges. So there are two types of charges, positive and negative. So generally it is a convention that the charge acquired by a glass rod when it is rubbed with silk as positive. So take a glass rod and rub it with the silk cloth. Then that rod will also get the power and it can attract the small pieces of paper. So this charge is regarded as positive charge. And when it attracts the other charged particles, it means that the other charged particle has negative charge. So there are two types of electrical charges, positive charge and negative charge. And what is the interaction between them? The like charges repel each other. Means if you bring two particles, two objects having same charge, either the positive or negative, they will repel each other. And if you bring unlike charged particles nearer, they will attract each other. So the like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. That is the interaction between the type of charges. Now we saw that when the particles or the objects, when they are rubbed with each other, then they have a type of power is there. Actually, that is known as static electricity or static electric current is coming on them. It is known as static electric. Now, what is the difference between the static electricity and electric current? Static electricity is such that it will not flow from one side to another side. But electric current that is flowing in our electric wires, that is known as electric current. So current can flow from the conductors like the metallic wires of copper or aluminium, etc. But this static electricity cannot flow from one place to another place in the electric wire, conducting wire. So that is the difference between the static electricity and our electric current. Now, if you understand some that the charges, electric charges can be transferred, and to understand that we have to learn about construction of a simple electroscope that you can make yourself also. You don't need much objects for this. You can use the things that is in your house. Don't need to make any expenses. Take an empty jar, jam bottle, and piece of cardboard and a metal paper clip and some strips of aluminium foil. Everything is available in your house. So now you have to take that bottle, empty bottle of jam or any other with a bigger mouth, and then you take a cardboard which is little bigger than the mouth of the bottle. We have to make a hole in the middle of the cardboard and you have to insert a metal paper clip inside it. So a small hole such that a metallic paper clip can be passed through that hole and open out the paper clip as shown in this figure. You already are aware about it. And then make a few strips of aluminium foil. Aluminium foil is everywhere available. Maybe there is inside in your house also to wrap the food materials, or in the wrapping of some chocolates or the chips that you eat that have that packet are also made from the aluminium. So that aluminium strips you can get anywhere. And make 2 strips on that foil strips on that paper clip. Now what we have to do, that we have to charge the refill rubbing with the plastic or the what you call it, that polythene. So when you rub the refill with the polythene, it will get charged. And then that charged refill, if you touch on the outer end of that electroscope of that paper clip, then what will happen? The charge will be transferred from the refill to that our paper clip, and it will pass through it and it will go on that strips of the aluminium that is hanged on that paper clip inside the bottom. Then you will see that when you touch that refill and the aluminium strips will be get broadened, means they will go far from each other. Why? Because the metal paper clip is a good conductor of the electricity. So it will conduct that static electricity, and both the strips will get the similar charges, mean like charges, and therefore the aluminium strips will repel each other and they will wide open. This object, this electroscope, is used to check whether the object is charged or not. When you touch the object on the outer end of that paper clip and the aluminium foil wides open, it means that the particle is charged, the object that in your hand is charged. And because of that same charge, like charge, the foil repels. And if you touch any object to that paper clip and it does not show any interaction, the aluminium foil does not get a repel, it means that your object that is in your hand is not charged object. So here we can see that when the refill was charged and it touches the paper clip, it getting discharged because its charge is transferred into that paper clip. So now it getting a discharge. So that electric discharge occurs like that. Same electric discharge is done in the clouds also. In the cloud also, when the thunderstorm is there, then what happens? Air currents move upward and the water droplets move downwards. And therefore, a very vigorous movement, friction, is causing the separation of charges. And the positive charges collect near the upper edges of the cloud. Negative charges are accumulating in the lower end of the charges, and sometimes the accumulation between the ground also. Now when the charges becomes very large, then a air, which is normally a poor conductor of electricity, and therefore it is can't resist the flow, and the negative and positive charges meet, producing streaks of bright light, and thus we see the lightning, and that is called the electric discharge. So by this way, electric discharge occurs in the clouds, and we see that phenomena as the lightning. When the processes of this electric discharge between two clouds, then we see that lightning in the cloud only, in the sky only. But sometimes when it discharge occurs between the clouds and the earth, then we see the lightning falling on the earth also. And then it can be very destructive, it can destroy the life and the property. So we need to make some measurements to protect ourselves from lightning. So here, whatever we explained, on the basis there are some questions here, and you have to write down the answers. If you learn, if you read, if you watch this video, then you will be able to get the answers from my lecture. Thank you very much.